73 perfect degrees in Philadelphia. Just about set for kick. Here's Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, the Rams come into this ball game a completely confident football team, and listening to head coach Sean McVay, you can understand why. McVay told us he's got nothing but respect for the Philadelphia Eagles, but he feels like that his group is up to the challenge. McVay also made one thing perfectly clear, telling us you're not going to say we came out and played it safe, adding, I can promise you that. Joe.
All right, Pam, and his team's going to get the ball to begin this game. Beating the Texans week 1, beating the Titans last week, trying to start 3-0 for the first time since their Super Bowl winning season, while the Eagles look for their 19th win in their last 20 games. Off week. Well, they're more successful at it than anybody. They're empowered to run it more than anybody. Almost twice as many quarterback sneaks as any team in the NFL the last 4 seasons since they implemented this. More than double the success of the Bills, who rank second on that list when it comes to touchdowns. And it's not just those 4th down plays. It's what having that weapon does for your strategy the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think so much of the conversation around the tush-push is the aesthetics of it. Does it look good? Is it a positive play for the game? But I don't think we give enough credit to the Philadelphia Eagles for the sophistication of what that play allows them to do. When they get give or take around the center field logo, you know, so call it 60 yards of the field, and they get into 4-down mode, it's 1st and 8. That is a significant advantage, knowing you have a yard and a half in your back pocket on every possession.
The Rams offense has been one of the best in the league through 2 games. Back out on the field when you come back. Lost a yard. Time for our first game break of the day. Here's Carissa.
Thank you so much, Joe. Steelers up 7 in New England. Aaron Rodgers finding DK Metcalf in the end zone for this 12-yard score. With that touchdown, he now passes Brett Favre, moving to 4th most touchdowns in NFL history. Steelers up 14-0.
Well, playoff rematch, and 2 teams that have combined to win 5 of the last 8 NFC championships and 3 of the last 4. The Eagles taking down the Rams in the divisional round last year on the way to winning it all. Both teams 2-0. The Rams, the easier 2-0 path, trying to prove themselves today, validate that, establish themselves as a team to be contended with in the NFC this year. The Eagles looking for a 3-0 start coming out of the Super Bowl win. Joel. Puka Nacua was a 5th-round pick, off the radar, to set a rookie record in 2023 with almost 1,500 yards. Last year he injured his knee in the preseason, but still came back, had close to 1,000 yards. He's second in NFL history just to Justin Jefferson in average yards per game. Leading the NFL through the first 2 games. They bring in Adams, and Sean McVay called him and said, hey, want you to know before you hear the news, we're going to bring in Davante Adams. And Puka, who grew up a Packers fan, wanting to be the next Davante Adams, said, that is so cool. I can't wait to pair up with this guy.
It's a Tim Wakefield knuckleball. They just catch it.
Without Jason Veritek back there to catch it. Saquon Barkley averaged 230 yards rushing in the 2 games against the Rams last year. More than 60% of those yards, Greg, came on 4 plays. He had 4 touchdowns, all of them at least 60 yards. And they came against the same look with the Rams selling out to stop him. He just gashed him. It's been a different approach today.
Yeah, the biggest issue, he continues to get hit behind the line of scrimmage. Of his 5 rushes, he's been hit behind the line of scrimmage on 4 of them. So the yards before contact have been an issue for this run game all year long.
Well, Matthew Stafford on his first drive of the day was intercepted. What we talked about this week with Sean McVay, he said, I think that Matthew Stafford responds to adversity better than any player I've ever been around.
And he asked him, and he kind of made a joke kind of about himself. He said, you know, why are you so good, right? And he goes, well, unfortunately, I've had a lot of adversity. He goes, early in my career, some of the teams I've been on, some of the stretches of games. So he had a really good perspective, and he kind of took it in stride. I mean, what an impressive guy, and he's a special dude.
Up at halftime.
Well, 6 2-0 teams are playing right now and fighting to stay perfect. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime, we'll have the highlights from a busy day, including the Bengals battling the Vikings without Joe Burrow. And we'll get you all ready for America's game of the week between the Cowboys and the Bears. We'll see you at the half.
Cowboys somehow getting that win in overtime last week against the Giants. Heading up there to face off with the Bears as McDonald tries to get his first win as the head coach. The boos rain down. What was a 2-0 start, but one that wasn't necessarily pretty, has devolved here to a very ugly, frustrating first half. The Eagles fans not one bit happy about. First half stats brought to you by Wingstop. Rams outgaining the Eagles 192-34. The passing offense for Philadelphia -1 and 0 for 6 on third down. We now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the Verizon Halftime, which begins now. Today's game flow presented by Progressive back in beautiful Philadelphia. 19-7 Rams ahead as we go to the second half. Joe Davis, Greg Olson, Pam Oliver. Eagles have the ball to begin this second half. Josh McCarty's been one of the MVPs of this game between his 4 field goals and the knuckleballs he's been sending down there to the Eagles on these kickoffs. Average starting field position for the Eagles about the 15-yard line. Here's another knuckleball. It's the same thing. John Mechie from the 5. They're going to start at the 9-yard line. Wow.
Can you teach guys to kick the ball like that? I'm genuinely fascinated. Like, is that something that Carty's just good at, or we need to find out more?
That's saying something. You don't like talking special teams. This must really be good.
I do. So Chase Blackburn, who's the special teams coordinator for the Rams, is a good buddy of mine. We played together in Carolina. Our kids play sports together back home in Charlotte. And I talked to him before the game just about the kick and the advantage. He goes, it's amazing. Last year, we just kicked every ball out the back of the end zone. Now we've kind of developed this ability that he calls them like dirty kicks. And people just really struggle fielding them.
Come with Pam.
Yeah, Joe, the Eagles and their fans are stunned by the events of that first half and probably how they started the third quarter. Talking to Nick Sirianni at the half, how do you jumpstart that group? What do you do? He said, we just have to dedicate ourselves to the run and to the pass without offering too many details. He said, fight and claw is what we have to do.
Draw for Fox Sports proudly partners with Coach Across America to make sure every kid has a coach who believes in them and helps them believe in themselves. Go to coachacrossamerica.org or scan the QR code on your screen to learn how you can help. Now the Eagles 22-5 here in Philadelphia the last 3+ years. Only the Bills have had a better home field advantage. Trying to flex that here in the second half. Touchdown that's inspired a little bit of hope, inspired some cheers. It was pretty much all boos in that first half. We check in with Carissa for a game break.
Thank you, Joe. You were just talking about more opportunities on the kickoff. How about this one? Rookie 4th-round pick Jalen Lane fields the punt at his own 10-yard line, finds a seam up the middle, makes a move, and he's gone. 90 yards for the score. Commanders leading this one 27-10 over the Raiders. Joe?
Now the Eagles, in a couple tight games so far, have come up with a stand. Red zone takeaways. Week 1 against the Cowboys, and Week 2 against Mahomes and the Chiefs. Carter might have barely gotten a finger on that. Kelsey couldn't catch it. Makuba got his first career interception. This time it's the offense that has turned it around in the fourth quarter. But again, it falls on the defense's shoulders. Can they get one more stand? It's Matthew Stafford. 52 game-winning drives. Far more than any other active quarterback. From 44. Joshua Carty has it blocked again. This time Jordan Davis, the big man, looks for the icing. on one big cake. Eagles hang on.
We've seen a lot of crazy endings, buddy, and I'm not sure we've seen back-to-back blocked field goals, and the last one resulting in a walk-off touchdown. Unbelievable effort, and we pointed out those were the two guys. There was no mystery where they were going to come. They're right here. They just run over the interior left side of the Rams field goal unit, and tell you what, I'm not sure what's more impressive, his ability to get in there and block the kick, or how fast he just ran with the ball. But
he wouldn't have run that fast last year or the year before. He dropped a bunch of weight, said he feels night and day different this year, the way that he's moving. We saw him run down Matt Stafford earlier for a big third down stop. And then he gallops free right here. It didn't matter even if somebody was trying to catch him. I'm not sure they would have. Philly blocks 2 field goals in the same game for the first time in 17 years, and they do it to preserve the win. The defending champ, not always pretty, but almost always ending on top. 3-0 for Nick Sirianni in Philly.
I'm so glad he didn't just fall down.
Right, go big fella.
He deserved that moment of jumping into the crowd following that block. That was incredible moment there by Jordan Davis.
And for the Rams, what a tough loss to stomach. A game they lead pretty much the whole way. The Eagles score the last 26 points of this game and win it 33-26. Now, Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the State Farm Game Break.